Hello everyone, today we're going to make unos romeritos navideños. These were actually found at Cardenas grocery store the other day that we went to pick up some ingredients.
Roughly two days before we went to Cardenas Markets, and I'm looking at this package, I'm like, oh look, I thought they were Romeritos. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I told my wife, look, Romeritos. She goes, oh my gosh. When I was looking at these at the grocery store, I knew it was some kind of plant. But as I was looking at them, I'm like, you know what? My mom used to make these in espinazo. That's a sort of soup. But these were in there, and they were so delicious. And when my wife made them the other day, the taste brought it back. I was like, yeah, that's the one that was in el espinazo.
These you can make with tortitas de camarón, like the ones you make during Lent season. Although during this time, it's very hard to find fresh shrimp. To make the recipe, you need dry shrimp, and these are you can tell they're very old because they're really hard. So we're going to try to soften them up by boiling them for a little bit. So see if they can soften up, and we can peel them and use the inside part to make the tortitas. But just in case this doesn't work out the way I'm thinking, I have fresh shrimp. Well, it's not fresh, but it's frozen shrimp.
Yeah.
In the sink.
That's what they look like. Dried shrimp. I know somebody's going to ask, what does dried shrimp look like?
Now, you can also make the patties with the grounded shrimp that you find in the grocery stores. And that you can find right now in the grocery stores. But I don't like the taste. You know, when you bite into the tortitas, it has like...
kind of like sand or something. A little sandy, like, oh.
So we're going to try to make them with this type of shrimp. Enough talking. Let's get started.
Let's go.
Come on. For the recipe, we're also going to need 2 pounds of nopales. Now we have 4 pots with water on the stove. We're going to use 1 for the nopales, 1 for the romeritos, 1 for the chiles, and 1 for the potatoes. We're going to start by boiling the nopalitos in hot water first. We're going to pre-cook everything, and then at the end, when we have everything ready, we're going to just add it together. In this small pot over here, we're going to use mole for the romeritos. You can use homemade mole, but we're going to cut down on the time, and we're going to use Doña Maria. But we are going to doctor it up by adding a few extra ingredients to make it taste more like homemade. So we are going to boil 2 guajillo peppers and 2 chile anchos or chile pasilla. These are fairly small, so I'm going to use 2. So we're going to hydrate them in hot water so they can become nice and pliable, and then we can blend it with the mole. Okay, now in this other pot, boil the papitas. We're going to boil them for maybe about 5 minutes. You don't want to completely cook them. You can also use regular potatoes, the same color potatoes, or whichever potato you prefer, and cut it into smaller pieces. But I'm going to use the small ones. Now in this other pot, we've got a whole lot of things going on right here. The water is just about to boil, so I'm going to turn it off at this point. We just want to soften the skin so they can become easier to peel. So we're going to add the dry shrimp to the hot water, and we're just going to let them soak for a bit. Vamos a apachurrarles. Let's push them down so they can be submerged in the water and they can soak in there. Well, here I have an expert on standby just in case the other one doesn't work out, but I'm crossing my fingers that it will. So when you clean your romeritos, you want to use the whole thing, but you don't want to use the tip. Just cut the little tip off, just like that, so it'll be nice and clean. Now that the nopales are boiling, I'm going to add some salt which is gonna help to flavor them y también to take off some of that baba.
Just make sure you guys are careful.
Now I'm gonna add cold water. I don't think I'm gonna peel them. Así se ven bonitas. I'm gonna need the pot to boil the romeritos, so I am gonna take out the papitas and put them in a bowl. We are limited here on the farm to what we have. Just fill this up with water again. Now we're gonna peel the shrimp. Now these are big. You don't want the head. You want to take off the head, the legs. What do you call them? Legs?
I would say legs, yeah.
The shell. The shell of the shrimp. All we want is the inner part of the shrimp. Just pull out the tail. And there we go. Like I said, you can also use the powdered shrimp that's already pre-grinded, ready to use in stores, but I don't like the little sandy texture that it gives you because they grind the entire shrimp. We're gonna grind our own shrimp. Ow!
And be careful because some of the shrimp, since it's dried, it's sharp.
It is sharp. That's why you gotta soak it really good so the skin can come off easier. All right, while we continue to do this, the water, did I turn on the water for the romeritos?
Yes, you did.
Okay, we're still waiting on that to heat up, and then we'll add the romeritos to it. The romeritos.
That's a big shrimp.
That is a big shrimp. Look at their little eyes. Bye, eyes. We are done peeling the shrimp, and this is all we have. It's probably less than 2 cups. So we're going to combine plan A and plan B. We're going to use these to make the tortitas, and then we're going to add shrimp to the actual romeritos. Now we're going to take these to the pot and boil them. So the romeritos, and we're only going to boil them for about 8 to 10 minutes or until they start to turn like a dark green color. These are done, so I'm just going to scoop them out and put them in a bowl. As you can see, todavía están un poco babosos, which brings up the fact that I like to fry the nopales instead of boiling them, boiling them, because I feel like when you boil them, it still doesn't take the baboso away. Although they are cooked right now, but I don't like the texture when they're still babosos.
So everybody's asking what baboso means.
The sliminess, look, see? They're slimy. Nopales are very slimy. My mom always used to fry them. I never saw her boiling the nopalitos. I've seen some people add the husk from the tomatillos to take off some of the sliminess, but I personally just like to fry them. You can prepare them however you feel more comfortable with, however you like them. We're going to set these aside and we're going to throw away the babas.
Babas are gone. No more slime.
Clean this up a little bit.
And those are our romeritos. Kind of looks like the decorations from Christmas. That's what I was telling my wife.
Doesn't it?
I'm looking at that and looking at our Christmas decorations. I'm like, hey, does that look familiar?
Maybe it is. This is the first time I find them at the grocery store.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's the first time that I've actually seen them there. And they're right by the nopales. When you peel these, we did have to clean some of them because some of them still had the caquita or the poop.
Poopies?
The poopies. And another conversation came up where I told my wife, you know, sometimes when we go to restaurants and order like the fried shrimp, I do see that it's still a little, you know, messy, but it's still good. I guess I like it fried.
I guess you like your...
My poop fried. Maybe that's what makes them tasty. You never know. So what, time to take out the romeritos?
Yeah, we're gonna take them out. Now when you remove them from the hot water, you want to immediately add cold water to them so they don't turn yellow on you. Just enough so they can cool down. All right, so we're gonna blend the shrimp. I'm gonna use my little magic bullet. I'm probably gonna have to do it in batches.
What is that called again?
The magic bullet.
All right, magic bullet, you heard it. You heard it.
I think it's gonna fit. There we go. Okay. Blend these up. Wish I had my food processor here. That would probably work even better.
Nope.
Mira, but it kind of looks like machaca. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Took a little bit longer than expected, but when you don't have the right kind of tools, you got to do with what you have. Yeah, parece machaca de camarón.
It's pretty cool. It looks nice. Okay, and the eggs, are these farm fresh eggs?
Yes, they are. They're farm fresh eggs.
Directly from our chickens.
Directly from my gallinitas.
Namely Ginger and Big Red.
We're going to use about 5 eggs. These are fairly small. I'm just going to separate the egg whites. You can do it you can do it this way and just kind of toss it back and forth. Try not to get any of the shells in there. Okay. Where's my bowl? I need 2 bowls. I personally like to put it in my hand and just kind of let it go through, but you do it however you feel more comfortable with.
Yeah, if it makes you feel comfortable, you do it that way. If it doesn't, feel gross, and do it another way. They do sell like little utensils to separate them.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, there you go. And I think we got the on the recording. Oh, just a little bit.
Did it get it in there?
A little bit on the side, but it's okay. We can clean that up.
Okay. Take it out with the egg shell. There we go. You know, I could have just added this to the big bowl instead of having to use the other bowl. Ay, Dios santo.
It's okay.
How many tortitas should we make?
Well, it's just us, you know. What do you want to make, like 20?
Now we have to dump it into the other bowl. Those are just egg whites. See, all those little things, I don't like those things.
You want to take them out?
Yep, I'm going to take them out.
I wonder if everybody else takes those out.
I don't know. Do you guys take them out?
What do you guys think? You like or no like? They're like probably, what are you talking about? These little yolkies that are in there.
The little whitey things. Yeah, that's good. Ready. Yep. If it doesn't fall out of the bowl, then it's ready. Get this out of the way. We're not going to need this anymore. I'm going to add half of the egg yolks. Our oil is already preheating. And another one. I'm going to leave a little bit for the mole sauce. Mix it in. And we're going to take this to the stove and begin to fry the tortitas. You don't need to add salt because the the shrimp has a lot of salt, so you don't need to add anything else, just the eggs, the egg whites, and the shrimp. Ready? Vamos. I'm gonna add a couple at a time. Could probably fit 3, huh? 3 at a time. That one's way too big.
Oh, my apologies.
Okay. There we go.
Oh, wow. Look at that, guys.
Beautiful tortillas.
How great they look.
I'm going to start to remove them. Oh, there's one. I know this is not the right tool, but this is the smallest one I have.
But like we said, it's a farm and we use what we have for now.
3 more.
But if you have a utensil that, you know, might be handy here in the farm, we're more than welcome to send it over. We'll go ahead and give it a try. Ah! Hey.
No suspension.
Sometimes there's, you know, somebody that's watching says, hey, you know what? I think I have something that might work for you. Send it over.
No te como las tortitas, te estoy viendo.
Oh.
We're almost done, guys.
You only made 2 so far.
No, I made 3. Son 3. All right. Let's continue with these, and then we'll move on to the next step.
All right. So we're going to wait for all of them to be done, and we'll come back, guys. Look at that.
Since we're not making our own mole, we're going to cheat and use Doña Maria, but we're going to add extra ingredients to make it more, to give it more of a homemade taste. So let's open this up. When opening it, you got to be very carefully because there's a lot of oil sitting on top, so you want to make sure you don't get it everywhere if it slips out of your hand. See?
No.
So we're going to add it to the blender. Get that oil in there. And I like to use a butter knife just to loosen it up. Move it around like that. To loosen it up, and then it's just going to fall right in a perfect world.
It will.
It will. There we go. Now there's a little bit more left in there. I'm going to use all of it because we love the mole.
And make sure you save your
cup.
Your cup to make that collection.
Okay, so now we're going to add I'm going to add half an onion. I'm going to trim it up a little bit though. Le voy a quitar el rabito. There we go. I'm just going to cut it in here. Don't cut like this, guys. I don't want you to cut yourselves. Don't be like a nana. 3 garlic cloves. The peppers that we soaked.
Look at how beautiful those peppers are.
Okay. You can also add a little bit of chile de árbol if you want to add a little bit of heat to the mole, but I'm not going to do it this time, so we're going to leave that one out. And I'm also going to add about 6 ounces of piloncillo.
And what is piloncillo?
Unprocessed sugar cane. Pretty much it's better than brown sugar, but you can use brown sugar or regular sugar as well. I like the mole to have a little bit of a sweet taste.
Here comes the agua.
I'm going to add about 4 cups to blend everything up. And don't forget the remainder of the shrimp. And that in there as well. Okay. Close it up. And blend everything up. We're almost there, guys. I promise.
This is my favorite part.
Now this may seem a little watery at the moment, but it is going to thicken up once we cook it.
Smells good.
Does it? Let me taste it.
Taste test right here.
Good.
I get no taste test.
It's a little spicy. I didn't even add chiles de árbol.
Really?
Yeah. That's all good though. We like it spicy. Since we have oil left from the tortitas de camarón, I'm going to use some of it to lightly fry the cactus.
Look how beautiful those are.
This is just to take the sliminess off the nopales. Slime is gone, so it starts to toast a little bit, which is not a bad thing, but at this point we're going to remove it because all we wanted to do was remove the slime. All right, so I'm going to add more of the oil to the pan to saute the shrimp. Here's the shrimp. I'm just going to season it a little bit with salt and pepper. You don't want to cook them for too long because then they're going to get rubbery. Because they are going to continue to cook in the mole for a little bit, so you don't want to overcook them. This is going to release some of the flavor into the pan, so when we add the mole, it's going to have even more shrimp flavor. So voy a quitar. They're slightly pink, but they're still a little bit white, which is perfectly fine because they're going to continue to cook in the mole. I'm going to add the rest of the oil, or just maybe 2-3 tablespoons to fry the mole. Here we go, guys. This is where the good part begins. I don't think we need to add more water, but I did add just a little bit to the blender just to get all that residue that's in there. There we go. We'll wait for this to reach a boil and to thicken up a little bit before we begin to add the rest of the ingredients. Okay. Let's keep a close eye on this and stir so it doesn't get lumps. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? Now let's add the rest of the ingredients because we're just about done. Romeritos. Cactus. Los nopales. Y las papitas. Vamos a mezclar esto. We're going to mix this before we add in the shrimp.
Lastly, I'm going to mix in the shrimp. Once you add in the shrimp, simmer for at least 10 minutes over low-medium heat. Cover and allow it to rest for at least 10 to 15 minutes before serving. Enjoy this delicious dish with your favorite rice recipe, las tortitas de camarón, your favorite bread or bolillo, or corn tortillas. However you choose to enjoy this delicious dish, once you try it, I'm sure it's going to become part of your holiday menu. If you're here for the first time, I invite you to subscribe so you don't miss out on future recipes like this one. And if you're already part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And happy holidays to each and every one of you. Thank you for watching.
It looks like the Millennium Falcon.